Material Day 155 GPF on show at the Aberdeen Proving Ground, Maryland, USA. So this is the French SPG of a very early date. This photograph, I presume, is from the 1970s or so. And as of Easter of last year, that is 2011, it was still there. This is February 2012, and I presume that that is still there. Once the 155mm GPF was in service, it was soon appreciated that the ordnance and ballistics involved could be modified for larger calibers. One possibility was soon achieved at the Saint-Chamond establishment by boring out a 155mm barrel to a naval caliber, 164.6mm. It was then discovered that a better all-round performance could be obtained from scaling up the GPF barrel designed to 194mm. The problem then arose that moving a barrel much heavier than that of the 155 GPF on a conventional carriage would create mobility problems. Excuse me. That difficulty was overcome by making the entire equipment self-propelled. The resultant Canon Day 194mm GPF being one of the very first self-propelled artillery systems. There was also a corresponding 280mm howitzer. Not surprisingly for a first attempt, the 194mm equipment was cumbersome and possessed only a mediocre measure of mobility. The equipment was arranged in two halves. One, the main tractor unit carried 60 rounds and propelling charges, a petrol engine, and electrical generator. The engine drove the generator to produce electricity used to power electrical motors and drive the tracks. The second unit was a trailer carrying the gun barrel and all the loading and fire control control arrangements, as well as its own petrol-electric systems, although the latter was normally used only when the unit was maneuvering into a firing position. Electrical power could be transmitted from the generator vehicle to the trailer via a cable in an emergency. Once in service, this heavy combination proved to be slow, the maximum speed being at best 8 kilometers, 5 miles per hour, and the complex mechanisms caused endless troubles, most of the drive chain being too flimsy for the loads imposed. Yet it was a start, and the French army proposed that some 500 should be ordered. The armistice intervened, and so production was terminated. By 1939, there were 49 still in existence. Of these, just 26 were mobilized to meet the German onslaught of May 1940, when most 194mm GPFs were captured or destroyed. This equipment was one that the Germans did not take into their own service, although they did undertake trials with the ammunition carrier unit as a possible munitions carrier for artillery equipments. Nothing came of the project. Many 194mm projectiles were later incorporated into beach defenses as rudimentary anti-landing craft mines. I guess it's a munition carrier, or that's a barrel carrier of the GPF. Oh. Loading a material D-155 GPF onto a railway wagon. So there's a guy there. So, if you want to see this very same piece, which Amy and I met, this very same piece right here, I recommend that you go to Aberdeen, and I hope it's still there. That's all. End transmission.